Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to bring you another reading for Libra. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me and keeping me safe. Libra. I think every sign has had jumpers. Just before I could say anything about the cards, well, it's the Yuletide Tarot. And we're starting off with the moon and the 5 of candles. So a little bit of secrecy, deception, arguments, holding back information. People are upset. Maybe with you or you with them, depending on your situation. We have the 8 of Gifts or the 8 of Pentacles with the Ace of Good Chase. So working on a commitment or working on wanting to make an offer for commitment to a particular Queen of Candles, or just having the determination to put things right because of some deception and arguing and holding back of some truths. We have someone being selfish and moving away from particular endeavors or wanting to just go in another direction with their ideas, or wanting to change where they work for some. Libra, you're quite busy. And again, it is the time of year which made me select the Yuletide Tarot, because it is the darkest portion of this season, and celebratory times could be very painful for some, as well as it could be very joyful for others. So again, that's why I chose this deck, and we have the Justice card coming out, showing that even though we want something really, really badly, sometimes it's not meant to be had, and maybe you are the one instigating that with another person, or maybe you are going through that sentiment of not actually getting what you want. Again, that's the reason why I'm using this deck, because it pays homage to the dark side that we all have to go through, whether we want to or not. Winter is the darkest period, and we are all in it, and it is how we maneuver through that brings us to seeing the light, and seeing the light on many levels, not just having more daylight. And then we have the 6 of Gifts. So the 6 of Pentacles, again, it's that being fair or not being fair, and this is between the 6 of Canes, so the 6 of Swords. And then we have the 7 of Candles, which would be the 7 of Wands. So finding that integrity and being able to move on because of unfair treatment. Again, with that Justice card, showing that we usually end up getting what we deserve. So maybe you are wanting to move away from someone, or you're teaching them a lesson by moving away from them. Or it could be you in the reverse, having the lesson being taught to you, Libra. Either way, you're involved with circumstance that there seems to be unfair play, or feeling cheated over the holiday season coming into January. I do thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares, and again, most of all, for showing up. And I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, and protecting me and keeping me safe. Using a 5-card spread, I just feel like I have to do that last shuffle. Not 5-card spread to bring us from the end of December, and you can go further back as to the past, how far past you feel connected to with this read, which will bring us to the beginning of January, the middle toward the end of January, and then final card brings us to the first 2 weeks of February. And I'm doing that because I'm late in bringing out my reads for January, and that really couldn't be helped. But then again, I'm bringing you a 5-card spread that I really like. It just seems to open up and get right to the core of the matter. And I do take random cards. So first card again represents what was and what you've been through, and bringing you into the first weeks of January or end of December, or however far back you feel connected to as past goes. And this is the 6 of Canes, so the 6 of Swords. So having that sense of feeling light, letting stuff go, being able to walk away from something that no longer served you. You're feeling that, or you've been feeling that, which has brought you to the first couple of weeks of January. Here is the 8 of Gifts, which would be the 8 of Pentacles. Just want to make sure everything is, yeah, it's good. So work is working. You're working on something, or you're working on moving away, whether it is a physical move or a spiritual move, but you want to feel like you're moving on from, again, that unfairness that came up in that Justice card, showing that we didn't really get what we wanted over the holiday. And here we have the Judgment call. So looking into the details of what was and making that move forward as to what is to come. This is where middle of January, where the full moon will show itself, and you will make a judgment call, or there will be justice that will be technically served, whether it's through a judge or a lawyer, or just you making up your mind on which way you want to go with a particular individual or with a group of people. You are looking into that. And again, this is based on what was, and what was is what brought you to, I want to move on. And here from the middle of January going toward the end, we have the 2 of Gifts, which is what we know as the 2 of Pentacles. And that's usually where things are not balanced, where we're giving more to one than another, or we're trying to serve 2 masters, or we're trying to bring things back into the balance by choosing one over another. And the final card, which will bring us to the beginning of February, though I classify this as the first 2 weeks because it's the last weeks of December or further back. And here we have the first 2 weeks of January, and then we have the middle of January coming into the 3rd week, and then the 4th week coming in to the 1st and 2nd week of February. So it's a flow, and it doesn't have to be, as I say, on this is the 11th. No, today is the 11th when I read these cards, but where you place or where you feel connected to may be later on or earlier than in your circumstance. The play out of the read in January is to give a flow of the energy that we're going through the heart of January, which is these cards here. And I will give an elaboration on that, on what we see here. But if you connect with the sentiment of the card being that you're feeling that you need to make a decision based on what you've been through and what work you've done, or you feel that you need to make that decision based on what your preference is as to who you want to be with, or what group you want to join or leave or be away from, here is where you make that connection And again, bringing us into the beginning of February, justice will be served, whether it is coming from your hand or from nature or from the law itself. But justice card here shows that we get what we deserve, and here we're opening up this gift of coal because what we really wanted we didn't get, and there's a reason why. You see at the bottom of the deck we have the Fool. So again, we're going back, looking at what we believe in, wanting to that, having that belief that something good will come. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. Where was I? The Fool. See, we have the Fool here, where this represents our faith, our belief, that hope that we have, that childlike connection to the universe, that something's coming. Something is coming. What's coming? What I'm expecting, but not sure what to expect. That innocence of belief that something good is going to come. I'm going to get what I want in some cases. Here we see the Five of Good Cheer. So it's the Five of Cups, and this is where the sadness comes in, where we have set up the tree, we have the fire going, and yet we are not happy. We are remembering the sorrow, the loss of what was a good time. What people around us are not there anymore, but we see the rainbow in the background that says that there is a bridge between the present, the past, and the future. And good cheer is coming again. We're making room for that, and we see that with the Two Cups standing, that it is possible that we could still have a happy Christmas, if not the one we just went through, but the one to come. There is always that possibility. Then we see the Three of Canes, which would represent the Three of Swords, and that is, again, we overcome disappointment. We have the faith in our belief that we can overcome, and that we have the courage to move forward, and we have that great desire for more that we can build on in the future, that we have the idea of we have a brighter future to come. We have that courage, and then we have new plans that we can make. So we're being very positive when it comes down to the Fool card here, because we're overcoming great disappointment so that we can make room for our future and begin anew, whether it is with someone else, with a person that we have from our past, or just with family members, reconciliation, having a commitment come with the changes, with that sense of moving on, with overcoming, with making that judgment call, bringing things back into the balance and seeing that justice is actually being served, or that we are making the right choice. I keep putting the cards down, but I have to do an elaboration because I say that and I always put the cards down. But it's because it's the heart of January that we want to look at. And I take, again, random cards, 2 for each one. So here we see we have the Page of Canes. So information, understanding, knowledge, research, the work that we're doing. We're learning something, or we're finding out information, and we're being determined. We have that will to go forward, that drive to use the information and work with it so that we can move forward. Again, Spirit is guiding this. When we see the Chariot, and it's not very easy to take particular truths that may be hard truths that that we're finding out, but we're working with that information and we're moving forward because we have that sense of knowing the right thing to do, and that it is the right thing that needs to be done, and taking the steps forward. By middle of the month, we're looking at the 7 of Candles, so the integrity comes back, and having that integrity, building up from the information that we've found, we're building up again to use our integrity, to stand and take the higher ground, doing the right thing, to bring in that commitment. Libra, you are determined. You're finding the way to having let go of a lot of pain from the past, that you're taking the higher ground, you're making that judgment call. For that sense of togetherness, where it could be, like I said, with family or with particular individuals that you want to bring together as family, because doesn't have to be blood. It's people that you're dealing with. It's having that relationship go to a high level, bringing things back into balance. For some, for others, it is a brand new step in relationship with the Ace of Pentacles, or in this deck it's the Ace of Gifts, where the offer for a home, the offer for a stable relationship, wanting to make that offer, being determined to stand in higher ground and have that offer come to you, putting things back into the balance. It is people that you're dealing with. It is a mindset that you start off with, that you want to put things right. Again, we have the Star, so there is hope that justice will be served. There is hope that you will get what you want. There is faith. There is faith in the future that things will turn around for the best and that you will be victorious, that justice will come in because you are putting your mind to the positive, being determined to call on, to have that judgment call and stand in your integrity and not to give up, to keep working with the information or the truth, or having that faith. Again, having that faith. Come February, you'll have the victory. The first 2 weeks of February will prove that there is something good coming your way, whether it is a relationship or possibility to have family reconcile, or have a home of your own, or just become a family with another. You have the faith that you will overcome, and that you'll get past disappointments from the past, and the courage to see the future, that you can grow, you can expand, you can make plans, you can change plans, and you can have that new beginning with someone from your past, with your family, people from your past, someone that you had with your childhood. Let's take an oracle message, because it is moving toward the where you will get what you want. You see, in some cases we don't get what we want, and in other cases we do get what we want, because the Ace of Swords here is a victory, and that hope, having that faith, that mindset is where it starts. Thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me and keeping me safe. What is the oracle message from the I keep forgetting, it's one of my favorite decks. It's the seasons. I keep saying Witch's Oracle, but it is the seasons of the witch. And this is the Yuletide, or the Yule Oracle. Let's see what guidance can we get for Libra, because Libra, you're going the right way. Nothing is faltering here. Your determination, the fact that your mind is relaxed is everything. That's where everything starts to go positive, and it keeps building up to become positive. Having that faith is everything. And again, the candle magic is very powerful. This candle magic, it's taken it because you have to go through hurt in order to have a mindset that's changed, in order to feel released, in order to feel free. You have to have had a sense of entrapment. You've had to go through that Eight of Swords type of dilemma where you're working things out, or you're trying to work things out. You're dealing with someone stubborn, whether it's yourself or other people. But the candle magic here is that spiraling is, again, you have to see and experience. You have to learn hard lessons on every level of that spiral in order to bring you to the light, in order to bring you to the good fortune. You can't just have all bliss. To have the bliss, you have to go through the suffering. And here we are coming out of that suffering. Here we are getting that relaxed mind, that peace of mind. And we have the ceremony. But this kind of magic is amazing. It's very powerful. It's where you again, that judgment call, the chariot is difficult. It's taking the higher ground. It's not easy to have those sevens come around. But being that you're working with what you've been through, that information here, that understanding of why things are the way they are. You've been mulling it over, so you come through. Finger the spine and caress thy lips. Light the spell spilling from your grip. Letting it go. You see, being able to let it go, whatever the hurts were, whatever the pain was, the disappointment, you had to go through and accept and then release. And because you're doing that, coming through January, you're going to feel that ease. It's not going to be so simple. It's not easy, but you're going to feel the ease. Toward the middle of the month, you're going to start feeling that sense of belonging, that sense of hope coming into reality. By February, you're going to feel it. You're really going to feel it. You're going to see it. You're not going to just feel it. You're going to see it. It's going to materialize for your eyes. See the hearth again. Celebration. Being able to dig deep and go into where it was dark and bring up that sense of, I'm okay. I'll get through. I have overcome. So that's warmth. Being that you're really coming to terms with what you've been through. The ceremony. I call upon those heralds of winter, dimming light for better sight. Hear thy praise spilling from thy lips. A spell I'll cast for thy spirits is in me. You see? That ceremony, again, being able to let things go, being able to accept what is, having that faith, knowing that the darkest dark has to happen so that we could come through to the light, because that is what this hope brings. That is where you're going to feel that come February. You're going to feel it, you're going to see it, you're going to know it, you're going to say, oh yes, On that note, Libra, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next read, love and light.